Good morning, welcome to your fiscal court. It's Tuesday, April the 7th, a little bit after 9:30, and I want to welcome Brother Randy Pace with the Family Worship Center. He's going to lead us in a prayer and then the pledge your flag. Good morning, Brother Randy. Thank you for always being willing to come here. We really appreciate that.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Let me bless this meeting if you will. In Jesus' name, I pray for wisdom and understanding for our leaders, for protection for their families. Lord, I thank you for Easter and what it symbolizes. I thank you that we have got a risen Savior, that we have got a reason to rejoice. I thank you that, God, in spite of the judgment that's on our country, you still have mercy on us. I bless this meeting. I speak wisdom and supernatural understanding that these people can do what is good for the people. And I just thank you for their intentions. And we bless this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Brother Randy. Pray your hand high. Magistrates number 4 on the agenda, presentation and approval of bills. Action is requested.
Make a motion to bill paid.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahale?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We have the bills as presented by the treasurer, Ms. Sharp. Ms. Sharp.
And those bills were dated for March the 19th, March the 20th, and also for April the 2nd.
Make a motion to accept treasurer's report. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahale?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Number 5 on the agenda, approval of the minutes from March the 17th. Action is requested.
The minutes be approved.
Thank you, Dennis. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahale?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Under old business, we have the second reading of zoning ordinance 2015Z-01, Gerald Mitchell and Melissa Mitchell. And Brian Richardson will take care of this business for us. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Docket number 2015-Z-01, applicants Gerald and Melissa Mitchell requesting to rezone a portion of their property, approximately 1.65 acres, 685 acres, more or less, from agricultural to R1 residential. Based upon testimony of the applicants and proponents, the Bullitt County Planning Commission found the requested changes in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan, and therefore should be approved.
So action is requested on this request.
Judge, we need to read the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
We can go ahead and proceed.
Yes, please.
Zoning ordinance number 15-03, series 2015. An ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 1.685 acres, more or less, located at 225 Covens Farm Lane in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas this Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Planning Commission, and whereas this Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County in described in the minutes and records of the planning commission. And docket number 2015Z-01 is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, the ordinance shall take effect upon publication, given first reading at a regular meeting of the fiscal court of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 17th day of March 2015, given the second reading and voted upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 7th day of April 2015.
Thank you, Mr. Woolridge. Now, action is requested.
Make a motion that we accept the planning and zoning's recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Can I ask Mr. Mitchell a question? Whatever you put on that property, is it going to better Bullitt County?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? And Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Westphal?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Number 2, under old business, action is requested to apply for household hazardous waste grant. This was tabled from March the 17th, 2015. And I see our Director of Solid Waste ready to proceed. Good morning, Director.
Good morning,
Thank you.
everyone. That means this first class. You all want to do this? I have the packet ready. It has to be postmarked for Friday, so everything's ready to go if you all want to. We spent $6,000 last year, so it cost the county roughly $1,500. Now, that's probably, I anticipate that not going up much, it could go to any, but that's something we don't know. So it's 25% of whatever we spend. Now, not all of that is actually money, because I can write $7 a quarter an hour off of inmates, the sheriff explorers, and the jail. So some of that is kind of what we call, I call it an in-kind service, which we get to write off as money, but it's not actually, we're not actually paying them. We'll have it at Bullitt County Fairgrounds for 4 hours, if y'all want to do it.
Have you received any calls on it?
I've had a couple, most of it's paint. Most of the people want to get rid of the paint, and a lot of people don't realize that latex paint is not a hazard,
Right.
but oil-based still is. And we get a lot of aerosol cans, pesticides, herbicides, things like that. For the size of the county of Bullitt, we don't understand why we're not getting more. Normally, counties our size get a tremendous amount of that, but for some reason we don't. And I think a lot of it is because of cleanup days. You know, we take a lot of stuff that's probably in with other stuff that we can't catch, and I think that that's why we have less. So, I mean, we advertise it, but the first year we were expecting, we didn't know what to expect. And we started tearing down about 4 hours after they got it there. So I've been holding it for 4 hours the last 2 years.
So is this something you will not take, or is it?
We won't take motor oil, of course, tires.
Batteries?
No, we'll take lead acid batteries, but I try to recycle them.
I mean,
Then if it's the alkaline, then we would take them, they're a hazard, we get a number of them. Explosives, ammunition, medical waste, electronics, because I recycle the electronics. Any unmarked cylinders, latex paint, we say we don't take it, but they normally do take it. Radioactive materials such as smoke detectors, anything container that's not marked, we'll generally take it, and they'll go through it, try to figure out what it is. The company's out of Cincinnati, they do an excellent job of setting up, tearing down. They come in the night before we set up, and generally at 11:30, they're tearing down, headed back to Cincinnati.
I'll make a motion that we accept.
second. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
I'm sorry, who made the second?
Joe,
No.
that's what we said.
Hearing no questions or discussion on the motion, Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
And you wanna go ahead with the rookie?
Sure.
We had one bid for Bullitt County cleanup days. I'm sorry, we had two bids for Bullitt County cleanup days, and I discussed this with Mr. Wardridge. I did not accept Waste Solutions LP for the fact that they included the disposal rate different than the transportation cost, and the bid clearly indicates the bid will be accepted on full containers only. And I explained to them the reason that we do that is it's easier for me to keep track of the dumpsters that leave, so I asked them to put all their fuel charges, their transportation costs, the landfill expense into one container. And everybody understands that, there's just some of them that didn't bid on it, but the bid that we did get is Rumpke for $545 per container, and that's delivery, disposal, fuel charge, and if we do what we did last year, 30 dumpsters, we're looking at a little over $16,000. So, with that said, I would just ask the court to approve Rumpke, and in your motion, I would like for you to also include that we go ahead and advertise for people. We'll run that 2 times. Mr. Barr generally does, we pay for one, he does one free. So we'll put the arm twisting on him and try to get that done.
I'll put that for a motion to use with the recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, any questions? April 25th will be Bullitt East, North Bullitt, Nichols Fire Department. May 9th will be Old Shepherdsville High School and Lemon Junction, and I did get approval from the Board of Education. So, any questions?
What time will it be? What time?
8-4.
8 to 4?
8 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock. And the inmates and the county employee will be there to assist. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, I got a lot to do today, I got to.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you all.
Thank you for working.
Number 4, under new or under old business, number 4, under old business. Action is requested on hiring of dispatch personnel. We are not going to bring up number 3. Our director has asked me to delete number 3 under old business from the agenda, which concerns the ADF grant. So moving on to number 4, dispatch personnel. This was tabled from March 17, 2015. Good morning, Director Phillips.
Good morning, ma'am. Morning, fiscal court members. Last meeting, I presented to you a request to hire 3 individuals for the dispatch center. So I'm here to recommend that we hire Megan Strange as a full-time telecommunicator, Dylan Slaughter as a part-time, Daniel Holbert as a part-time telecommunicator on the dispatch center. Starting salary would be $12 an hour.
I'll make a motion to hire the people that Director Mike Phillips has recommended at the pay that has been recommended and the amount of time, meaning full-time or part-time. Do I hear a second to my motion? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Mike, is 3, we losing 3 people? I know you probably told me 3 times, but I forgot.
The 2 part-timers are filling the part-time positions that we have open, and these 2 individuals are interested in full-time. So we're hoping, we're gonna have one dispatcher that will be transferring to EMS in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we have one that is requested to go part-time, so we're gonna lose 2 pretty quick, and then we'll have 2 that are getting ready to retire. One getting ready to retire in August, and another one that may be leaving sometime in June. So I'll be back again.
Awesome.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Grayhill?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, ma'am. And then Keith and I will be back at the next meeting with the ADF information. We're trying to work out something paying off the lease on the vehicles and get that off the books by the end of the budget.
Would you mind giving us an update on the latest emergency declaration, which is the flooding?
We received notice Friday morning that the river could reach elevations of 34.4 feet, which would put it almost 2.5 feet above where we were in 2011. So we immediately started notifying the businesses and residents over here on First Street, giving them the heads up. Based on the information and the rain that was supposed to move in the next 2 storms, I had the judge go ahead and do another emergency declaration. 2 things, because we lost the Mitchell Hill Bridge, and talking to state transportation because Jimmy had some damage and some undercutting of the culverts, and that he may have to assist the state road department on the Mitchell Hill Bridge. We went ahead and filed another declaration.
When did you do that?
Friday.
Friday,
I think at what time?
That's Martin
It's on
Hill.
quickly.
pardon me, sir?
Martin Hill, Road.
Martin Hill, what did I say, Mitchell? I'm sorry, Martin Hill.
Martin.
It just freed Jimmy up in case he had to assist with some of the roads, because we knew we'd lose Highway 44, and then Chuck over at the State Road Barn wasn't sure about a couple of his others. We lost them. Lose means they got covered with water. So that's mainly why we did that, but it made us again eligible for FEMA reimbursement because more likely, in talking to Tom Wright with State Transportation, the bridge at Martin Hill will put us over our threshold. So Jimmy's been taking pictures and running around doing damage assessment on the county roads. I think we have some significant damage on 4 or 5 of our roads that Jimmy's working on. So we're preparing the paperwork and getting ready for that. This will be the 3rd event that we're eligible for. I'm meeting with FEMA tomorrow on the snowstorm to see if we can get federal declaration on that, get the county and the city some reimbursement on that. We're still waiting for state transportation on the March snowstorm to see if we can come anywhere close to our state threshold. So that's still open, and this just opened up another. So we'll be dealing with, I will be dealing with FEMA probably for the next month and a half, trying to get us eligible and qualified for some reimbursement from the federal government. So if you hear of any road issues or any issues on public, you need to let Jimmy or myself know that we get qualified. Individual assistance is something separate that FEMA has reworked, and I'm still trying to familiarize myself with that. But FEMA moves in, they'll put out the information packet for the public for the individual assistance, which is the residents themselves with any property damage.
Well, Jimmy, I've got about 6 roads in the 4th district, they work blacktop clean off of them. I need them re-blacktopped, okay?
I'll think about it.
But if you have any questions or anything, I'll keep you updated. I'll be honest with you, when I asked the judge to do it, I should have called you all, but it just, we took off notifying people to make sure that they knew. Turner actually moved out. Robert Watkins knows the river so well that he just stands there. I use him as my gauge instead of the websites for the hydrologists. And then we're going to keep the state of emergency in effect until after this weekend. we have some more severe storms coming in, potentially Friday, potential heavy rains today, and tomorrow and Thursday. So we're just gonna keep it open so we can evaluate and make a continuation if we have any further days. Try to expect to be Sunday and Monday based on these goals. Sometimes we get in there, it's like water, he can't get it too down, he wants to forward to do that. So, any other questions?
Mike, one issue you probably ought to tell them about is your Collins Hill Tower Road is completely gone.
Okay.
And I'm covered up with the road, but I can't get there. Do anything.
We have a responsibility based on our agreement with Wacky Radio to maintain and keep the road passable. That goes up to the tower site where our equipment's maintained. And then what Jimmy does is he'll go in and push rock and haul rock in on the road. I guess based on the heavy rains, we've lost all the rock in that curve.
Yeah, and more rain coming, I can't. I gotta get the culverts open, take the roads back, I can't take care of that too, because it takes 3 pieces of equipment to do it, 3 operators and 3 or 4 trucks. I'm tied up too busy right now. And
What's your recommendation?
Yeah, what's the answer to that?
contractor, let him take it.
Let me get with Jimmy and we'll figure out a solution. And then I have to get with the judge and the emergency declaration. We'll do what we need to do to fix that road.
Because we won't have to.
Or at least get it passed.
Right,
So we'll do that and do what's prudent, make sure we get enough quotes and do what we have to do to get it operational so we get up.
It's just not for Wacky too, it's for the people that live there. Right.
No.
This is just for the tower.
That road just maintains and goes up to the tower site. There's no homes or anything else. There's some homes at the bottom, but all we have to maintain is from the gate up to the top of the hill. And maintain means passable. So I'll get with Wacky and Jimmy and see what we need to do, and then get with the judge and do what we need to do to get that road accessible in case we lose some of our radio. Accessibility to our radio equipment and tower, because that is an issue if we do lose it tower site. So I'll get with Jimmy. Any other questions?
No, that's what we know, as soon as you
I'll get with Jimmy.
know.
If there's no other questions, I'm going to leave and go prepare the meeting.
Okay. And I want to say thank you to our emergency services. They do a phenomenal job. Like Mike said, this is the third time I've had to declare an emergency for 2015. So we're busy this year. And your emergency services personnel, they work very, very hard. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart for caring about this community like they do. So thank you, Mike.
I'll make sure the employees know that.
Please do so.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Under new business, let me say this, under new business number 1, Mark Edison sent me a letter, and finally he sent it to me and the magistrates and I. Did y'all get a copy of this? Okay, it says, Dear Judge Roberts and magistrates, as attorney for Michael and Karen Roby for the above referenced rezoning request, I am requesting that the first hearing/reading be postponed to April the 21st, 2015 at 9:30 a.m. And this is in reference to, again, first hearing/reading, Michael and Karen Roby, rezoning case number 2015Z-03, Lodi Lane. This is the reason Mr. Edison is giving for postponement, his request rather. I am required to be present in the Jefferson Circuit Court in case number 15-CR-0253 for a pretrial at 9:15 a.m. on that date, and will be unable to be present to present the case. The recommendation of the planning commission for approval in this action was made on March 12, 2015. Therefore, no time limitation would impact this request. There were no opponents present at the planning commission public hearing. Yours truly, Mark E. Edison, and Mr. Woodridge was CC on that, right?
I just, and the court can pass it times I know this one. You can pass it today, it had to be re-advertised for the first reading again.
So we can go ahead and vote on it, right?
Oh, no.
No, this was the first reading in public hearing that it would have had. And since Mr. Edison has requested that it be passed, the applicants are not present, so you do not have anybody or today.
Number 2, under new business, action is requested on asphalt bids. Director Stivers, good morning. Good morning.
We received 2 bids for asphalt material to be used for the Bullitt County Road Department. The first one is from Bullitt Construction. The base blacktop is $38 per ton from Hall. The surface is $45 per ton. On the second bid is from Mago Construction. Base blacktop is $40.50 per ton. The surface blacktop is $41.90 per ton. And my recommendation is to go with Mago on this bid because 95 or more percent of what we use is surface blacktop, which is the cheapest bid. So that's your call.
I'll make a motion to accept the director's recommendation to go with the Mago bid. Do I hear a second to my motion?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you can call the roll.
Mr. Westbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And just to let you know, we got everybody out working on this, trying to get totals and stops, and working on the bridges, underline and stuff like that that's going on. We got some landslides we're working on. I'm just covered up, I can't work on that road with my first priority is the county roads. Okay? I mean, I'm not being a party about this. According to the state, we got, to take care of the county roads first.
Just get with Jimmy or get with Whitefield's on that and we'll figure
Or
out
something else. Okay. If I don't answer the phone, you don't call, it's because I'm a dead father or even with.
Jimmy, before you leave, do you need to contact Division of Water, or whatever? You know, all that debris and everything is on down, breaks there and everything, where we're got on Scotts Gap there. It's all choked up down there, and it's private property on both sides. You need to contact him, because you're gonna have major problems if the water gets up there again, because you're gonna lose your road again.
Yeah, but I got 4 roads, 4 creeks like that, Hobbs Church Road, Hobbs Church Creek up there, it's got the same thing in it. You know, it's down there on State Mill, that one down there, got blockage too. We're kind of like contacting them about that. I don't know what they'll do, if they do anything.
Well, at least you contact him and go from
Well,
there.
I mean, I can't go in there.
Right, I know
The
that.
federal board is going to keep, or have a contract to do it. There's another division, and I can't remember, I had to pull the files out. To the, another department, and I'll try to get them to see what they come up with. Yeah, we got several like that.
Okay.
These trees is fell in, power lines and everything fell in, and we're stopping it.
All right, thank you.
Director Stivers, thank you so much, and your road department for all the work you've been doing this year with all of the snow and all of the rain.
One more year like this, and I'm quitting.
No, you're not. Okay, number 3, under new business, I wish to appoint Magistrate Joe Ray Gill to the Emergency Services Committee to replace Ruthie Ashball. Do I hear a second to my motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Joe. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Congratulations.
And Ms. Williams, may call the roll.
Mr. Rader?
Abstain.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Joey, for being willing to serve on that. With your license done, that's good, thank you. Number 4, action requested on FEMA lease. Deputy Judge, do you want to read that? You know, just for, Mr. Woolridge, what do we have to read, or if anything do we have to read?
I was summary on just indicating there's nothing as far as. For the purpose of the audit of the magistrate, there is a certain piece of property that Bullitt County has possession of due to past flooding, and the court has the ability to release this property to individuals for basically very limited purposes. And in the past, the Bullitt County Fiscal Court has made releases with George and Laura Martin on a piece of property which is at 581 Sampson Road, lots 218 and 219. And the lease has expired as of the 27th day of March 2015, and this is on for the magistrate's court to approve an additional 1-year lease with the same terms and conditions, which are $1 per year per lot.
Action is requested, thank
What
you.
is, what was the motion that we approve the lease and everything for a year?
Thank you, Magistrate Mitchell.
Second.
Thank you, Magistrate Hill. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, we call the roll.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Number 5, under new business, action is requested on new fee schedule for code enforcement. Director Hawkins, do you have anything to bring to the table?
Just inform you that we received information from the State Department of Housing that they wanted a rate increase. And this rate increase does not affect residential. It's only on big box, and it's like 2 or 3 cents a square foot. We have to adjust our fee schedule as part of the ordinance. That's what I'm asking you to approve.
So this is just on commercial buildings.
Large.
I make a motion to accept the director's.
Second one.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, can you call the roll?
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Mr. Rader?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Director Hawkins. Now, I want to say thank you so much to a member of our Economic Development Authority. Happy Cahill has been a member for quite some time and has served our community very, very well. I so much appreciate his time that he has served. And Mr. Cahill, do you have the, Mr. Woolridge is taking care of that? Mr. Cahill is in the back there. He said, do not ask me to come up front.
Yeah.
So I'll not stand.
Yeah. First of all, I appreciate this fiscal court and all past fiscal courts for supporting the economic development. If it wasn't for the Bullitt County court system, or fiscal court, economic development couldn't survive. Y'all support probably 90% of it, you know. But in the past fiscal court, I think Glenn Armstrong, if I remember correctly, was the one that reinstated Bullitt County Economic Board back in the 80s. That's been a long time. Anyhow, I do appreciate it, and I would like to step off the EDA board. Been on for a number of years, and I think it's time for new people, new ideas, and it's in y'all's ballpark. But I do want to be replaced with somebody that's very interested in economic development. And I thank y'all again.
Do you have a recommendation? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I tried to get another one, he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it?
You know, I think that's y'all's job to decide. I did turn in some recommendations, you know, but I think that fiscal court, the judge, needs to check on these people to make sure they've got one interest, and that's economic development, you know, for the county, not for themselves.
Yes, sir.
But I do appreciate everything y'all done.
Thank you.
And I will continue to help, but I've got some things that I need to take care of, and I just need to step aside. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I want to say, I do appreciate you and everything, that capacity and everything, but you've been out there and everything, but a lot of these people don't know everything, but he's worked diligently and everything with the factory companies and what have you and everything, so he's been a good service, a real good service to everything to Bullitt County, and I appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
Yes, happy. I also would like to, along with Mr. Mitchell, I've known you for a long, long time, and I know you've worked hard, not just in economic development, but a lot of other things here in the county. I appreciate your service. Thank you.
After you just don't want to take a year off, please. Come back next year. Would you like to come back next year?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Would anyone else on the court like to say anything? Would anyone in the audience like to say anything to Happy?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Happy. But just stick around because your experience, I hear train, it's almost on the train. Your experience is necessary to keep the county going. Okay, we have two people who've signed in. Gary Board, come on up, Mr. Gary. You know the routine.
It'll take less than 3 minutes.
Less than 3? All righty.
Last fiscal court, there was discussion on an audit. Will there be any further discussion, or is any decision been reached?
What, me and John's have been busy, but anyway, we're working on the scope of it and going to get out bids for it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
And say anything, Ms. Higgins, you have anything?
No, thank you.
All right. And we do have to go into executive session, so I'm gonna, what do you call it? Yield. I want to yield to Mr. Woolridge.
I believe what it
Oh,
says.
Kevin, wait a minute, let's let Kevin. Oh, go ahead, Kevin, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
I failed to get to you all to get on the agenda, but I have a check for you all, and I figured you'd give me a minute.
I'll take the money.
I figured you all probably would.
Well, I'm not going.
$64,025.
Is that your personal account?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But that is excess fees, being an over 70,000 county on population. That is, the state got that to us since the last meeting. And it's been a little hectic on my office too, end of the month, and it just got past me, you all, and I apologize. But anyway, I figured you'd be happy for the money, whether it's on the agenda or not. So That's all I had unless you need something from me.
Oh,
I will tell you.
There was a voting machine that you wanted to get that.
Yes, that was, when we had bought that tally voting machine, payment for it to the vendor for Hart was contingent upon receiving that. So if you all would remember that, I would be appreciative. I'll give you just a little bit of community news. We are starting, I don't know if y'all have seen on the news about the new decal on demand. Law enforcement's aware of it, and we sent some stuff out to the various police chiefs in the cities here in the county. There's going to be a change. Bobby Holtzclaw in Jefferson County did a press release, and there's been some of it on the news. We implement and do our equipment setup tonight, and we go live with it tomorrow. And basically what it's going to be is, instead of getting pre-printed books for the decals, we will have, it will print on demand. And so when we do your renewal and it prints the receipt, it just prints for you. So there's no loss for the state for printing these books and then having them go bad. So there's some money savings there. The wave 3 is supposed to be out to the office next Tuesday. They're going to do a small piece on it. They've done some on Jefferson County, but we actually have a person who works for Wade who lives in this community, and they contacted me and talked to me about it. So we get a little bit of PR out of that. Sorry.
The question is can an elected official that's not running in the race work the post, like me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But when you are on the ballot, you are unable to run. Certain members of your family cannot serve as poll workers in the precincts in which you are on the ballot, but we can put them in other parts of this county and they can serve. So you being limited to the 4th district, and your wife, for example, was a poll worker, we couldn't have her in the 4th, but we could put her in 1 through 3.
So, like, if I wanted to sign up for this in May, could I work the 4th district?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And anyone who would like to be a poll worker would be tickled to have you. $25 for School of Instruction and $125 for Election Day. And I've already had one that I lost yesterday.
When is the school? When do you have this?
School of Instruction is April 30th, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but if you call the office and tell us you want to, we're preparing to send the letters out later this week. And then we'll have one the following week that'll be here in this office.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for the money.
You're welcome. We'll see if I can do it again in 4 years.
That'd be awesome. Okay. Okay, Mr. Woolridge, you want to lead us into the executive session?
Just need to make a motion to have the fiscal court go into executive session to discuss personnel issues, and on going into executive session, fiscal court may request personnel that are germane to that discussion to be present, including the county attorney.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session utilizing Mr. Woolridge's verbiage. Ms. Williams, did you get all that? Well, let's do a second. You want to hear a second to my motion? Thank you. We got a couple of different. Mr. Lawson and Mr. Laswell all seconded it. Let's let Ms. Williams get this written.
Mr. Wolf, give me word that again about calling.
Fiscal court makes a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel issues. And in addition to the fiscal court members, they may call specific individuals, including Lisa Craddock and maybe Jim Miller. And they are entitled to have the county attorney present if they so request.
In my motion, I do request the county attorney, Mr. Woolridge, and I do request Deputy Judge Craddock, Director Miller. For the second to my motion, y'all agree?
Second.
Thank you. Who'd you put for second one?
Mr. Lawson.
Okay, y'all second it here.
If you like Deputy Judge Craddock and who else is there?
Director Jimmy Miller and Mr. Woolridge.
members, may call specific individuals, veteran type individuals into this session. The judge requests to call County Attorney Wooldridge, Deputy Judge Lisa Craddock, and Director Jimmy Stivers to be present.
Jimmy Miller.
Jimmy Miller, I'm sorry, to be present during said executive session.
We will take in Ms. Craddock individually, and Mr. Miller.
That's all the motion is.
That is fine.
Any questions or discussion on this motion? And hearing nothing, Ms. Williams, please call the roll.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I'll see you on the executive session. We have to go to the kitchen because the elders are in the. I make a motion to go back into open session, and no action was taken in executive session. Do I hear a second? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Reeves, may call the roll.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you, Ms. Williams. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Laswell.
I want to make a motion, whatever it's on, make a motion to elect,
What's your motion to?
all
All right, Mr. Laswell, I believe, wants to make a motion that the action of the deputy judge placing a letter of reprimand for the employees, personnel file be available.
I'll second that motion, and we're going to hear it from Ms. Williams. Could you hear Mr. Woolridge?
Please send a letter of reprimand and, I'm sorry.
No, we're not placing anything. We're upholding.
The motion is to uphold a letter of reprimand placed into the personnel file of the employee of the Bullitt County.
Whenever you're ready.
So the motion is to, is Deputy Judge Ryan Sutter's at the,
She's already done that. Let's turn that air off. Rudy, would you mind turning that air off? It's already here. Thanks.
I'm sorry, I just, motion to uphold the action of Deputy Judge Craddock to, place the letter written in the personal file of the employee.
Oh, it is this one. Just turn it off, please. It's not working. It's in my office. Turn it.
No, it's this one.
Let me take my shoe off, Jess, and I'll get it.
Thank you. Ms. Williams is still, okay. Okay, read it down, Ms. Williams, so we can make sure it's right.
Motion to uphold the action of letter written by Deputy Judge, placing the letter of reprimand in personnel file of the employee of Bullitt County.
What do you want to say, please? Mr. Walters, are you, is that
That's
fine
satisfactory.
legally? Okay, magistrates, any questions or discussion on this motion?
We need a second.
Yeah, and so-
I Williams, may call the roll.
Mr. Ricker?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Abstain.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Anything else from the court? Motion to adjourn is on the table. I make a motion to adjourn, for your second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? And Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Ricker?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you all.